So I am Coach K, and this is your Stop the Micromanagement Minute, or I'm still working, or Stop the Madness. You know what? I'm going to have some of these that are just Stop the Madness because there is so much madness. I was just listening to a parenting expert who will remain nameless and huge following. And it's so painful for me because are parenting experts helping us? Really? Why do I have clients? If all this positive parenting, and by the way, I love it. It sounds so good, doesn't it? Um, just get to the root of what's bothering your child. Don't parent from your ego. It is your ego. You have the audacity to think that you know what is best when you're just projecting your inner crap onto your child. And that's all you're just reactive. That's it. So you don't stop a tantrum. Don't punish. Don't give a consequence. Consequence is shaming. First of all. I was on I was on a call with a principal today that just says I'm going to come and speak there. And she goes, there's total disrespect. And it doesn't have to be one or the other. It's not, oh my gosh, we're shaming them. And I want to ask you something. I have parents come to me because this stuff isn't working for them. They want it to work. And should you see your child for who they are? Of course. You should raise your child into the person that they are meant to be. I think we've come a long way where we're not putting our agendas onto parents. Maybe not. And are we ever going to get rid of our egos? No, we have to keep our ego in check. That's what we have to do. And every day we have to work on ourselves. And that's a lifelong journey. But we're not going to solve it all within ourselves, fix it all within ourselves, get in touch with what happened to us as children, and then now come out and parent. That's a lifelong journey. And self-awareness is something that we all should be working on, right? Practicing every single day. So I need to keep this short. This isn't one of my minute videos. You know, if I want to give you something. I always want to give you something that you can use, not something that just sounds good. Or go, okay, my child is tantruming. They're knocking down my door. They're kicking. They're screaming. The siblings are killing each other, heaven forbid. My child just gave me the bird, and he's only 4. Because this is what's happening. I just told my son to get off his Xbox, and he just looked at me with contempt. Contempt. And this parenting expert is like, you have the audacity. Oh, I'm going to tell you, yes, please have the audacity to stand for something. Please, please have the audacity to know that you can be authoritative with your children and you don't have to be shaming. What is shaming? If your child is having a tantrum, and there's not always a natural consequence. This whole thing with, sure, there are some consequences that, yes, it's natural. Your alarm, you didn't get up in time, so you missed the bus. Do any kids still take the bus anymore? Not most of the kids that I'm coaching, but they're not taking the bus. But that's a natural consequence. But parents, this hurts their heads to go, what's a natural consequence for my kid who's kicking my door down? What do you do with that? A kid that won't get dressed in the morning. I know, moms, I know what you're dealing with. You can have all of that beautiful empathy that these parenting experts are talking about, but you need to be authoritative. You have to. And it doesn't have to be shaming. It's this all or nothing. You're either, hey, what are you feeling? What's going on that you're having that tantrum? Let's get to the root of it. Are you upset because, I don't know, did you feel sort of energetically, did you feel something coming from me did you feel shamed what is this? It's really funny. So, you know, here's how you can stop a tantrum. It's one of my favorites from one of my favorite parenting experts, John Rosemond. Give a kid their very own tantrum place. You don't have to shame them, but they can't dominate the house with their tantrum. It's so beautiful. Sweetheart, you're having a tantrum. That's your tantrum room. You can yell in there. That's a great place to yell. You're not making them feel bad for having their feelings, but you're saying to them, you cannot dominate the household with your tantrum. There's a way to set a boundary. You have to be able to set a boundary. I know parents don't like this word. Parenting experts hate the word obedient. It's so traditional and so old fashioned. Yeah, it's a great word because kids who are obedient, studies show they're happier. We're not talking obedient to Stalin, heaven forbid. We're talking about to loving parents, doing what you're told the first time. If this stuff is working for you, you know, if it is, discussing with your child why they're having these feelings, what's going on with your 6-year-old that they're having a tantrum, what triggered them. We need to know our own triggers so we don't lose it with our kids. That's what we need. We need to always be working on ourselves. But moms, I know I have you as clients because this stuff is stressing you out. So if it's working for you, keep doing it. But if it's not, coach at icoachmoms.com. Hop on a call with me because those tantrums, they could be gone in a couple weeks. Kids could be sleeping in their own beds. You could be back in your bed. Yeah, with your spouse or just with yourself in a really good book instead of sleeping with your kid and there's them sleeping with you because I know that's what's happening. All right. Thank you for letting me share. But if that stuff is working for you, tell me how it's working for you. And if it is, I'd love to hear from you. If all of that discussing and is helping your 3-year-old stop the tantrum and I can hear my husband's voice of blessed memory say, Catherine, I try to get parents to speak concisely and use as few words as possible. You have to do the same thing. Thanks for listening.